Shalom everyone. This is going to be a quick webcam video. I want to remind you guys that when you receive when you get delivered from accusation, you also get delivered from spells that are on your life and from curses. Now you need to understand one thing. A spell is a confusion on your mind and your emotions. And this confusion is also causing circumstances to keep you in that mental and emotional cage. That's what a spell is. And every spell needs accusation. And every spell, because they are founded on accusation, they need a validation. And that validation comes through others. Now, the human mind is built in such a way that we adapt easily to things that are repeated around us. If you encounter something frequently, when it's repeated to you, you get attached to it. You get used to it. So, for example, things like lying or treating people as trash, or being mistreated. If it happens frequently, you get used to it. It doesn't bother you anymore. That does not mean that it isn't harming you. It is harming you, but you're not bothered by it because you became adept to it. You see, when you are under a spell, you become adept to a lot of things that you should not be adept to. But because you're under a spell, you're not realizing it. Okay, you're not noticing it. It's when you get delivered that you can realize, hold on, why was I used to that? Why did I have this pattern of behavior? See, then it's then that things will begin to make sense to you. And there's another thing, guys. When you are under accusation, you see, because listen, whenever you experience emotional tension, your response as a human is to look for relief. That's how we are made. Okay, so many of you there were side effects to because of the accusations that were upon your life. For example, some of you enjoyed going to the gym frequently. Now, there's nothing wrong with going to the gym, okay? Listen carefully. What I'm saying is there's nothing wrong with it. You go to a gym, you do your thing, there's nothing wrong with it, okay? But for some of you, going to the gym was a method of relief from emotional tension. You see? Because there was an accusation hanging around on your life, and those spells, they burdened you. And going to the gym was a frequent thing that you did so that you can find relief. You see, it was basically an addiction, but you didn't see it as an addiction because it's not drugs, it's not meth, it's not heroin, but it was still an addiction. Now that you became delivered from accusation and those spells are broken off your life, now you don't enjoy going to the gym that often. You do want to go to the gym, but not with a frequent, not as frequently as you used to. Some of you guys, you used to read a lot of books, okay? And listen, there's nothing wrong with reading a lot of books here, okay? But there is something wrong with reading books just to get relief from emotional pain, just to avoid reality, okay? Now that you're delivered, you still enjoy reading books, but you're not into reading books as much as you used to. If you understand this, when you get delivered, you see changes occur in your life. Okay? For example, some of you people, you used to be very excited to get the best grades in school, in college, and you used to be very excited to perform the best at the job. And of course, people enjoyed it, your performance. But why did you want to perform that well? It's because you wanted to avoid rejection. And that motivation to avoid rejection, you see, that made you think if I just perform well, I'm accepted and people won't harm me. And you've got used to this iniquity, this pattern of behavior by performing. And because you were under a spell, you had an euphoria, you had a pleasant feeling in your brain while you were doing it. So you were thinking, I'm happy, I'm alright. Others around you saw you are a workaholic. Others clearly saw that something wasn't right here. But they kept quiet because what are they going to tell you? Uh, you understand what I'm saying here? So, but now that you're delivered, that counterfeit excitement to work, work, work is also fading now. So listen, being delivered does not mean that you can continue life as it was without hindrance. That's what most people think deliverance is. Most people think deliverance is you continue with your daily routine without any hindrance and with aid. That's not the case because listen, when you are when you are under an accusation, you see, you're operating under a spell, and when you're operating under a spell, you are holding on to insane negative statements. You see? And when you operate in negative statements, you are basically representing evil spirits. You're basically an agent of evil spirits without being aware of it. Why? Because your mind is operating in those insane statements. And the thing is, you don't realize those are insane statements because people around you affirm and confirm those statements. You see? So you tend to believe those statements are real. When you are delivered, you see, some life circumstances may become more difficult for you. Why? Because you're not addicted anymore. You're not under a spell anymore. When you were under a spell, certain things went easily. But now that you're free from bondage, and because you're free from bondage, those things that appeared good but weren't good are not working anymore for you. And that you should be glad about it. You see? Now listen, why am I making this video? Because there's a deception going out there that if you're just a good Christian, if you just pray enough and fast enough and behave well, then everything will go smooth, everything will be right, and you will only make the right decisions, and all the results will line up. This is not true. This is a fake gospel. This is what they call the prosperity gospel. That's only focused on having an easy life with easy circumstances without any social nor emotional nor financial hindrance. That's the kind of life unbelievers are seeking. And that's the kind of selfish, self-centered life where you're not bothered by external circumstances. You see? It's not real life. But there's a gospel out there. They call it the prosperity gospel. I better call it damnation gospel because it's not a real gospel. So it's a curse. And this fake gospel is in many churches and many believers are falling for it. You see, there was a time I began to fall for it too. But when I checked it out with scripture, I found out, hold on a minute, this is not real. You see? The thing is, guys, you will encounter danger. You will encounter tribulation. You will encounter persecution. You will encounter bad treatment and mistreatment solely because you belong to Christ. Solely because you have the Holy Spirit in you. And that's something that believers need to accept. Just because you belong to Christ will mean that people will attack you. So it doesn't matter how good your behavior is, it doesn't matter how much you pray, how much you fast, or many degrees you make, there are times you will go through storms, okay? So when you have a church or a pastor or some prophet that claims that you can pray away all the evil, you can pray away all the tribulation, and you can pray away all the uncomfortable and unpleasant circumstances, they are lying to you. Because if you do listen to those teachings, you're basically listening to the teachings of demons. And when you agree with those teachings, you are agreeing with evil spirits, and you are becoming an enemy of God because you have become a friend of the world. And yes, when you become a friend of the world, when you agree with evil spirits are activated, they will work on your behalf. And yes, external circumstances may become smooth and easygoing. At the same time, you're in a cage, you're in bondage. And at the same time, there are diseases and all kinds of um, darkness being activated on your behalf also. So it may appear as if you're going higher in the Lord, but you're not going higher in the Lord because you've disconnected yourself from the grace of God. Hey, saints, I've made a lot of videos on this channel. I've talked a lot about deception. I'm telling you, keep on praying, keep on reading the Bible, and listen, keep your eyes open. Don't let anyone deceive you. When Satan and his demons, when they come to deceive you, they will not come as terrorists. They will not come like jihadists in black calling Allahu Akbar. They won't do it. You see, they won't come as Freddy Krueger, as in the Nightmare on Elm Street in a horror movie. He won't come with a knife or anything. When Satan and his demons come to you, they will often come posing as victims that need help. They will come as a golden opportunity. They will come as everything your flesh ever wanted. Why do I say your flesh? Because that self-centered tendency to have all things on your terms without any hindrance, even as believers, we still have it. Okay? And we're still struggling with it. And the deception is that Satan will appear as the one giving you everything you ever wanted, without any price, without having to go to suffering for it. And if you fall for the deception, yes, you will have a temporal relief of external circumstances, but at the same time, you've shortened your lifespan on earth, you have lost your effectiveness for the people around you. So just because you see people where things go easy for them, that does not mean that the Lord is with them. You see? When you look through the Bible, most of the saints that you read about in the Bible, things did not go easy and smooth for them. Look at David. Okay, yeah, David succeeded. He eventually became king of Judah, king of Israel. And he had families and children during the 13 years that he was persecuted by Saul. So eventually, God's plan worked in his life, but it also included persecution, trouble, and resistance from the world. You go to the New Testament, you go to the apostles, you go to the Christians in the first century. All of them had God's will over their lives. God's plan worked out. And that plan also included that they overcame persecution, trouble, mistreatment, and all of those things. Okay? So whenever you have people telling you that you don't have to carry your cross and follow Christ, they're lying. It's a lie from the pit of hell. Yes, you have material prosperity. Yes, you have physical health. Yes, you have the power to decree things and cause circumstances to come together. That's true. What's also true is that you have billions of people walking this earth who don't want to follow God, who don't want to be saved, and they agree with the devil willingly or in ignorance, and they are agreeing with negativity. So you also have a lot of negativity that will come your way when you're operating in faith. Okay? So this video has become a bit long, but I just wanted to point out to you guys, make sure nobody deceives you. Don't look at your physical circumstances or your financial circumstances to determine whether the Lord is for you or not. Because there are many Satanists, there are many Luciferians, people that rape children, that eat babies, and all those things. And they live in palaces. They live in luxury apartments. They have private jets. They have all of those things on the external circumstances are good, and I'm saying not good, they are beneficial to them. They also have a lot of security, so no criminal will attack them. They also have a lot of money on the bank account. So if you have to look at physical circumstances, you would have to you will have to say that God is with all those evil people, that He's promoting them and protecting them. It's not true. Again, don't allow anyone to deceive you, because there are many deceptions out there, and the deceptions are only multiplying. This being said, you all, I hope I've warned you enough. May the grace of Christ Jesus be with you. Shalom.